Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 23, and it is the final video we're going to be doing on this fantastic motorcycle game. And tonight I thought I would conclude my MotoGP 23 experience and uploads with my top 10 favourite tracks to play within MotoGP 23. Now I know you might be thinking I already did a video where I ranked all of the tracks within the game, but I ranked them on a preference of how well the AI perform, how well the bikes feel, and how well does the experience work within MotoGP 23. Well, today this is just simply 10 of my favourite tracks to play within MotoGP 23. Let's crack on with the list. So coming in at number 10 on the list first is the circuit of Valencia, the circuit of Ricardo Tormo. Now, Valencia is one of those circuits that I always see a lot of people say they don't particularly enjoy, or they don't wish for it to be the final round of the season anymore, but I really like Valencia. I think there's a certain sense of speed, precision, braking, overtaking, everything. There's lots of stuff to do here in Valencia when it comes to the computer game, and for me, it is the culmination of the season. You finish Sepang, you may have finished Qatar in MotoGP 23, and you arrive here to Valencia to either fight for the crown or possibly fight for a different position. But Valencia, just for me, gets me excited for the final part of each and every career mode season I do. Regardless of whichever motorcycle game it is in the terms of MotoGP games, Valencia is always the final battle, and I really look forward to it all the time. So as far as I'm concerned, I do really like the circuit of Valencia. I think it gets a bit of a mixed bag from the fans, but I really love the way it works here in MotoGP 23. The only slight criticism I could give it would be the final couple of corners. With MotoGP's pickup effect, it's difficult to position the bike where you want to go into the Adrian Campos corner and to get it right for the lap. But I do really like Valencia, and it has made the list here in top 10 on the 10th position for my list here today. So now on the list next we have Portimao. This is the circuit of the Algarve. Now, when I first started playing MotoGP 23, I would have probably shed a tear at the idea of Portimao being in my top 10, but since I played on Superbike 22, challenging. Since I played on Ride, also very challenging, but I came to MotoGP 23 and I learned. I learned the track, I learned the physics, and I learned the bikes to get better at in career mode down to this circuit here. And I really enjoy Portimao. Every time I jump on this circuit, whether it's a live GP, online against the aces, or just by myself, I tend to have a good time. I particularly had a good time doing the Fermin Aldeguer double long lap penalty challenge a couple of weeks ago. Thoroughly enjoyed this circuit, really enjoyed making the prediction video as well with Maverick Vinales. It's just a fun track. I'm not ranking the AI, but in the past I've had some decent battles, and then of course sometimes I've had some dreadful battles here in Portimao. So yeah, I like Portimao, and I'm happy to say that I have been convinced and inspired to become a fan of the roller coaster. I understand why a lot of people don't like it, because it's an extremely challenging circuit, but I think that's why I enjoy it. The track has everything. Undulation, hard braking zones, braking uphill, braking downhill, braking on a side, and braking at fast pace as well. It's just got everything, this circuit, and it does mould well to my riding style within MotoGP 23. So I'm going to give Portimao a thumbs up and say it deserves 9th place on my list here today. So as we go into the Galp for the final time of MotoGP 23, we will then move across to number 8 on DrAce's top 10 favourite tracks in MotoGP 23. So now we have the Silverstone circuit. Of course, probably a bit of bias in there as well from me being British, but to be honest, I like Silverstone anyway. I think it's a great track. It's not quite as good as Donington, but to be honest, I've played Silverstone more in MotoGP 23, and I think I'm beginning to prefer playing Silverstone myself when I'm not recording more than the likes of Donington Park and some of the tracks. So for me, Silverstone is great, and it's especially awesome to me because we had some of the best career mode races from Moto 3, Moto 2 was exciting as well, and then MotoGP fighting with an Air Bastianini all the way down to the penultimate corner. It was excellent, and ever since then I've become such a fan of this track. I don't even think the pickup effect negates any of the positives of this circuit. Going into Maggots and Beckett's, it might feel a little bit unique, but you can still feel the bike moving. It wants to turn, and it works great for me. I really like this circuit. I don't really have much undulation changes. It's more or less flat compared to the likes of Portimao. Obviously much different circuits, but the very fast flowing nature keeps me engaged with this track. Now, it's a long track, and it does feel a bit tiring towards the end of it, but for the majority of the lap, I'm enjoying myself. There's too much corners to be focusing on, there's too much moving around with the bike, braking on an angle, and then getting the power just right to come out of the likes of Chapel and the like for those hanger straights and every other straight as well. So, I like Silverstone. I have been converted to like this more than I usually did. I really like it now, and I'm really happy to put it on my list at number 8 in today's video. So as we go into the final couple of corners with the KTM, shout out to the KTM career mode. Won't be saying that for a while, but go into the final corner, and we can now start the countdown for number 7. So number 7 on today's list is the circuit of San Marino. This is Misano. Now, I really love this circuit. I would have probably put this higher a couple of months ago, but I jumped on it a few days ago, and I can say I didn't quite enjoy it as much as I used to do, but I still adore this track. It's got such an amazing final sector that it just always will make a top 10. Going into the fast right-handers from Cavone all the way up to the very tight right-hander of Caro for turn 14. It's just an excellent track. I really like this circuit. I loved it in Superbike 22, loved it in all of the MotoGP games, and MotoGP 23 is no exception. The only slight difference I would say is I've probably played it a bit too much over the past couple of months, so that might be a reason why I don't want to put it higher. But to be honest, top 7, it's worthy. It's more than worthy of my list. And at the end of the day, who's to argue if it's my list anyway? But of course, if you are enjoying this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And more importantly, let me know your 10 favourite tracks to use within MotoGP 23. I will see you in the comment section to discuss down there. But yeah, I really like Misano. Deserves 7th place on the list. Now moving across to a fan favourite. Now this track would be higher if it didn't dominate live GPs and every single time people vote for a track online. This is the circuit of Mugello. Terrific track. And I absolutely adore this track. There was a point where I would say I was a bit bored of this track, and the prime example I'm going to give, which is going to offend some people I think, but Phillip Island is not on this list, spoiler alert, because of that reason. I feel I've overplayed Phillip Island over the years, and I don't particularly enjoy it as much as I used to do. Now on Mugello's side of the argument is the fact that it was overused so much, and then it sort of went quiet for a while, and now I've begun to really enjoy it. We did it for the Ace Academy Cup in the first season of MotoGP 23's Cups, and I had a great time trial there, had a decent race, and I just really begun to enjoy it. I finally figured out how to do Scarperia, and I finally just felt comfortable around this track. So Mugello's inspired me. It really has, and I think it's always been there in the top 10. It's just that how my recent bias would put it amongst the top 10 list. But really like Mugello now. Undulation as mentioned already for the likes of Portimao. It's an excellent circuit. Braking markers, braking at 210-20 plus miles an hour. Hard on the brakes, going into San Donato, back onto the right hand side. Plenty of corners, great overtaking opportunities. It's just a fantastic circuit. So yeah, Mugello more than deserves top 6 in our top 10 tracks of today's video. But now moving swiftly on, because we are at the top 5, we go to the Midnight Skies, and that is the Qatari Desert. It is the Qatar GP. It is the Lusail International Circuit. Now, Qatar is one of my favourite tracks of all time. I love this circuit. Playing it in the night with the floodlight race, it's just awesome. Playing it with Moto 3 to Moto 2 to see the difference between the skies, getting blinded in Moto 2 or getting blinded in the sprint by the low sun, just adds to the character of this track. I think it looks fantastic. I love riding in the night, and I just really like the fast, flowing nature of this circuit. This is one of those tracks that I could just pick up and play and enjoy. I'd just have a good time with it. Doesn't matter what time I'd finish or what position I would be in. I'd just enjoy it. And that's definitely a track that I can't say much alike. I really like this track. I think it's extremely challenging, but it's very enjoyable. It's very fast, and it's an excellent circuit. The only one caveat I would say is the track is extremely flat. There's hardly any, if at all, any undulation. You brake a little bit higher, lower, but to be honest, very flat circuit. It's great to race. I had some great live GPs in the past. Unfortunately, it does go a little bit dodgy with the MotoGP 23, but with all things going well, I'd say this is definitely a worthy contender of top 5 in the top 10 DrAce tracks in MotoGP 23. Sorry, I almost butchered that then. But into the final corner, this is turn 16. We'll get on to the power, and then we can celebrate the track that is occupying 4th position on my list, and that circuit is the Circuito de Jerez. I have no idea how to pronounce it properly, but this is the Jerez de la Frontera circuit. It is the Spanish GP. It is Jerez. Now, this one was a tough one. I really wanted to put this one higher, but recent bias has put 3 other tracks ahead of it. It does pain me that Jerez won't reach the top 3 steps. But it's just recent bias. I just feel a little bit more love towards the other circuits. But yeah, Jerez is amazing. I had a terrific flag-to-flag race here the other day with Jorge Martin. If you didn't see that video, I implore you to watch it. It's great, honestly. It's tough to start off with, but then when we get to the dry bike, things change and it gets rather entertaining. So I highly recommend you check it out. And whilst you're there, you might as well subscribe as well. But yeah, Jerez is an absolutely classic, legendary circuit that I just love to play. There's not a time in the world where I would decline an option to play MotoGP's Jerez in any game. If I was online and someone said, do you want to play Jerez? I'm probably going to have to say yeah. Providing I'm not doing videos or something, I'll want to play Jerez. I'm absolutely fine with that. You know, there's a certain tracks that will always appear online. This is one of them that could appear every single day. I really enjoy this circuit, but there is 3 more tracks on the list that I would say I would probably want to play a little bit more. And yes, there probably is recent bias, but we'll find out when we get there. And in fact, we're going there right now. It is number 3 on the list. It is the Circuit of Barcelona. It is Catalunya. I adore this track in MotoGP 23. It was tremendous in previous MotoGP games. It was excellent in Superbike 22. It's a track I just know so well, and I always feel comfortable. In our DrAce Academy Cup, in the last one we did, I felt tremendous here, and as always I didn't have time to practice, and I still felt really competitive. I had a great race there, I enjoyed it. Well, I had a good sprint until lag killed me in the race, but the rest of it was excellent. And again, I jumped on this track the other night before making this video, and I was like, do I still like Catalunya as much as I used to? I absolutely do. And one of the reasons is this corner here, the TB3. My god, it's just a wonderful corner. I absolutely adore that corner. It's just so good. It feels magnificent to get it right, and on the brakes, it just, it's terrific. It's a great circuit. I know not a lot of fans of the final sector, but to be honest, I couldn't say a bad thing about Catalunya. Even though the Caixa doesn't really let you turn in this game, doesn't bother me too much. I enjoy it. I do very much like the Circuit of Barcelona here in Catalunya. And that concludes the top 3rd position. So we'll now get to the top 2. Now this one is an interesting one, because I would say, I don't think many of you expect number 2, but you're definitely expecting number 1. You probably are. You probably are. But across the line, let's finish this one. Let's begin to talk and discuss number 2. It is the Red Bull Ring of Austria. When I say recent bias, I mean recent bias. In career mode, from the first season in MotoGP to the second season on the KTM to the last season with the Ducati, we have absolutely dominated here at this circuit. But we didn't just dominate because the AI is slow, which is true, the AI are slow here. We have consistent, fast, comfortable lap times. I absolutely adore this circuit. I love the undulation. I love the hard straight line braking. It's just me. It's my style when it comes to this game. Straight line braking, quite aggressive, but not to the point where the bike's wobbling and weaving and panicking. It's just comfortable, smooth braking. And I did the video not long ago where I did the ride-through penalty with Brad Binder. I called that one of my best videos, and unfortunately hardly anyone watched it, which is a damn shame, but I thoroughly enjoyed making that video more than any of them I've done over the past couple of weeks. It was terrific. It was by far the best video, and honestly, I'm still buzzing about the Red Bull Ring of Austria. It was the first circuit I jumped on a MotoGP 21 to learn, and I've just been so impressed by it ever since. It's great. Awesome track. I think actually MotoGP 20 might have been the first one I actually played on, but regardless, I love this circuit, and I'm more than happy with it to put it number 2 on my list here today. But drum roll please, ladies and gentlemen, we have number 1, probably the most obvious choice in the world for me. It is the circuit of Assen, the cathedral of motorcycles. This is the most biased opinion ever. If you've ever watched a live stream and someone's asked me what's my favourite track, I've always said Assen, and I still will. If we're talking MotoGP, I'll always say Assen, and to be honest, as much as I love Cadwell Park and Alton Park in Britain, I'd still think I'd go for Assen every time. I think it's the greatest track in the world. It always offers the best racing as well. If Assen's on, guaranteed fun. Sunday, excitement. Sprint race, Saturday, amazing. It's going to be great. World Superbike, awesome. It's the best. I absolutely love this track, and it transfers across so well to MotoGP 23's physics. The bikes feel terrific around here. I was critical of this track in the ranking track video I did because of the way the AI is terrible and the way the other players cheat going into the final corner. But I'm talking about me playing this game against the AI, maybe solo, doing time trials. I did the video where I tried to lap everyone, and I just thoroughly enjoyed the challenge around Assen. Doing low 131s to high 130s, consistent pace, amazing. Amazing track, amazing game, but it is the last time we'll be playing MotoGP 23, so join me in saying thank you to MotoGP 23 and say welcome to MotoGP 24 tomorrow. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you for tomorrow. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.